this is kind of where like fitness comes in for us. Is we're go-getters. And so we tried to find those that are off the beaten path you're not going to see from the road and you're not going to have easy access to. So we'd basically find water like that. We'd go hike in. It could be a couple miles. We got the decoys, we got our guns, waders, everything's on our backs. And we'd hike in the dark, trekking through, cattails in some areas and stuff like that. So not the easiest going, but then it paid off because the couple times we limited out within like a half hour. We shot our 3-man limit right away. The birds knew that there was no pressure back there, so that's why they were holding back there. And but we had no trouble finding success doing that. And just talking to some of the other hunters and stuff, they were really struggling. And I think it's just that they weren't willing to, if they couldn't, they were hunting near roads and stuff like that, doing kind of some of the easy access stuff. So that's kind of why, fitness for me is important.
What is going on? Hope you're having a fantastic start to the year 2024. Here for the next 2 weeks, every single day, you're going to get to hear a story from someone in the First Phorm Outdoors crew, everyone from the West Coast to the East Coast, north to south, everything in between, bass fishermen, professional bass fishermen, bird hunters, archers, rifle hunters, everything in between, guys, just outdoorsmen in general, outdoorsmen and women. I want you to understand why they have chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors as their company for supplementation, for nutrition, for workouts, and more, just an outstanding community, and why we want you to be a part of it. So not just from me, but from everyone in the crew, again, from all walks of life and everything outdoors that they really enjoy. You're going to find a story that you can relate with, if not more than one, and I hope you enjoy each one of these stories. Here we go. Let's kick off the new year right. And if you want to join us at First Phorm Outdoors on the Facebook group, the link is down below. If you have any questions about supplementation, from the protein sticks to the meat sticks, guys, those are my favorite snacks when we're out and about. Also, energy drinks, if that's your thing. We've got everything from post-workout shakes to, in the app that's less than $20 a month, guys, you get a one-on-one advisor. You get someone to help walk you through your nutrition, someone that will hop on live and not just give you a cookie cutter routine, but something to check in with you on a regular basis so you can accomplish your goals here in 2024. Let's get this started off right with the First Phorm Outdoors crew. Here we go. Hope you enjoy this conversation today and for the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think. Have a great day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it. Welcome back, everyone. We've got an awesome guest here. We've got Nolan Goshey. He is a member of First Phorm Outdoors community as well. He's up north in Minnesota and absolutely loves waterfowl hunting, which I know nothing about other than you use shotguns, and it looks like a fun time. So we wanted to have Nolan on here so he could give his perspective as to why First Phorm Outdoors, because this whole week, guys, we've been talking about why First Phorm Outdoors, because I want you to find the community that's right for you as you're pursuing your goals here in the new year. Coming into 2024, we want to make sure that you've got everything that you need, the tools in your belt to be able to succeed and not fall off the bandwagon after February or March, when most people stop going to the gym, stop focusing on their nutrition. Maybe they haven't seen the results that they think that, I don't know, YouTube or whoever is showing them they could have in 2 months, which isn't necessarily true. They're not necessarily in it for the long haul because they don't have a community. And I want to give you that community. So Nolan's going to give us a different perspective from someone up north where it's even colder than here in Utah. And he still enjoys getting outdoors, loves getting after it with his training, has his own goals, and why he's chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors to pursue his passion and goals and get better every single day, no matter what month of the year it is. So with that being said, Nolan, who are you for people that don't know who you are?
Well, I'm a 31-year-old guy. I just turned 31. So I'm an electrician by trade. I kind of do a little everything. I do some framing, building houses and stuff on the side as well. But yes, I'm an avid waterfowler. I have my own brand, World of Waterfowl. And I'm passionate kind of about fitness, the outdoors, bringing that together is one thing. And, trying to show people along the way that they can, get the results that they're looking for and still have fun doing it, and the benefits of that, that can pour into every aspect of your life, so you can just improve overall.
Exactly. That's something that we want for everyone. Again, we want to touch everyone from the Western hunter, elk, mule deer, pronghorn, to the waterfowl hunter, which kind of right now this time of year is mainly waterfowl with some late season whitetail out there as well. And maybe if you're going down to Texas, maybe some hog hunting or something like that. But mainly it's waterfowl this time of year. And so it's cold. Waterfowl hunting, to be honest, is not as physically intense as going after elk on the top of a mountain. So tell me why it's important for you to be physically in shape, because I hear that argument a lot, whether it be a whitetail hunter in the South or a waterfowl hunter. They're like, the hardest I really have to do is either carry my stand out as a whitetail hunter, or with waterfowl, I got to set up my decoys and maybe bring in the blind that I'm using. That's it. And then I have to carry some birds out on the way out. And they're like, why would I need to be in shape? Why does that matter for me when there's so many people not in shape and enjoy it just as much?
Mm-hmm. So for me, I've seen both sides of that argument. I've gone to places like a guided hunt where you pretty much walk in with minimal stuff. Everything is set up for you and you just show up and shoot birds, and that is fun. I'm not going to take anything away from that. That is a great opportunity for people that don't have maybe the equipment or means necessary to get started. So that's a great opportunity, and it can get you on some good birds and stuff. But for being in shape, like last year is a prime example of this. When we were out in North Dakota, me and my buddies, um, it was early season North Dakota, so it was hot. It was like 80, 90 degrees, which is kind of just unseasonable for that time of year. But we got out there and we scouted. We weren't seeing a ton of birds. So actually, and by talking to some of the locals and stuff that were out there, and the other Minnesota hunters and stuff that were out there, they weren't having great success at all. And this is kind of where like fitness comes in for us. Is we're go-getters, and so we basically took Onyx, we broke it down, we tried to find either plots, which is private land open to sportsmen, or you got waterfall management areas. So we tried to find those that are off the beaten path, you're not going to see from the road, and you're not going to have easy access to. So we'd basically find water like that. We'd go hike in. It could be a couple miles, and we'd see that there's, this water's holding some birds, this and that. So like the next morning we'd get a game plan. So we'd throw all our stuff. We got the decoys, we got our guns, waders, everything's on our backs, and we'd hike in the dark, trekking through, cattails in some areas and stuff like that. So not the easiest going, but then it paid off because the couple times we limited out within like a half hour. We shot our 3-man limit right away. The birds knew that there was no pressure back there, so that's why they were holding back there. And but we had no trouble finding success doing that. And just talking to some of the other hunters and stuff, they were really struggling. And I think it's just that they weren't willing to, if they couldn't, they were hunting near roads and stuff like that, doing kind of some of the easy access stuff. So that's kind of why, fitness for me is important.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's that definitely allows you to have more of an edge and be less limited when you're out there hunting, and what stand you're going to sit or what setups you're going to do, which allowed you guys to be successful on that day. And obviously it's not 100% that's
No.
going to happen, but the fact that it worked that day was enough. It was a good enough example for you. And so that's definitely something that's key, with waterfowl hunters or whitetail hunters. You want to be able to be mobile. You want to be able to carry your stuff around. You want to be able to not be shaky when it's time to take the shot. You want to be able to do everything that you can in your power. And if your power is lessened because you're out of shape and not in the best shape possible for what you need to do, then, you would have sat back and you wouldn't have tagged out that day. You wouldn't have limited out. So,
Yep.
That's something that's, that I feel like maybe a lot of people should recognize and see. Now, it can be easy to lose sight of that throughout the year. And when you're, not having that one day, maybe you are someone that is successful enough that you're like, one day of hiking back there isn't worth it. They'll be back around, or I've got another setup that I can sit. What would you say on that end of things for people that maybe don't feel like they need to push it too much like you guys did that day? What would be another good reason why they should be in shape as waterfowl hunters?
And actually, yeah. So that trip, it worked for us for 3 or 4 days in a row, where we consistently limited out and stuff there doing that. But, it's just, it makes you feel just that much better. Cause even if you're not maybe hiking in a few miles, there's still going to be some work throwing out decoys and kind of, a lot of times you're doing makeshift blinds, because if it depends. I mean, there's a lot of things you could be field hunting or water hunting, but if you're over water, you're probably going to be making your own blinds. So you're going to be going out there with like a machete, you're cutting bulrushes and stuff, trying to blind stuff up. And, there's some work involved. And especially if you don't have a dog, you are the dog. So that's, I think, a good reason too, is just to kind of, stay in shape. And just, it makes everything, just makes life easier in general, makes everything about it easier.
Exactly. For sure. I would agree with that. So with that being said, with the idea of wanting to be in shape so that you could just basically overall have a better experience, what are some things that you do to get ready for waterfowl season? Because, again, I think of elk and deer out here, stair steppers, rucking, getting some explosive movements in, making sure you get your mobility in so that when you are going over the deadfall, your hip flexors aren't going to just be destroyed after a day of hiking. Things like that are things that come to mind. And kind of jokingly, but also kind of not. The only thing I could think of with waterfowl hunting is maybe doing some sit-ups with a shotgun in your hand. Like, you sit up in the blind and you're ready to go. I don't know. Like, what are some things that you do to prep your body for whitefowl or waterfowl season?
I do a lot of different things. Like you said, the sit-ups, if you're especially doing layout hunting, it's all you're doing all day is sit-ups, right? Trying to sit up as fast as you can, throw the doors open. But like, I try, I'm one of the ones that I stay in shape year round. But leading kind of up to the season and stuff in the summer, I do a lot more kind of conditioning, just trying to get my cardiovascular built up. And then also legs too. Cause like when you're out there in the North Dakota swamps and stuff, that you sink in some mud. So you're out there in waders and you pretty much got to high knee the whole thing. Cause you sink a foot or so every step you take. And it's just a lot of work, like with a lot of leg work is involved and stuff. So, but I do a lot of stair stepper, just mainly a lot of conditioning and leg movements.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes sense. So basically everyone's most hated day in the gym.
Yep.
Leg day and core. Okay.
Yeah.
What about beefing up your shoulders to be able to take that shotgun a little bit better?
Yeah, you get a pretty good callus built up by the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I imagine so. That's awesome. That's definitely some good pointers for people out there that are more into the waterfowl side of things. And I know there's an art form to it. I know it's a whole nother, just like I gained respect for whitetail hunting this fall, going out for a week and doing it in Ohio. I'm sure if I went out waterfowl hunting, I would definitely understand, but it's definitely one of those things that people can get caught up in. Well, I go to go drinking with my buddies and things along those lines. And although I do understand that, it's something that should also be enjoyed for generations. And this is something that you have control over as much as possible, right? Obviously, short of a catastrophic event or some disease coming along, what are things that are in your control? And one of those things is nutrition and the fuel that you're putting in your body. And so there's a couple things, first off, what do you use to keep track of your nutrition and your workouts? What's the tool that you use for that, Nolan?
I use, the Phorm app. It's a great tool, has a ton of different workout programs, especially like the Built for the Hunt. That's a fun one, full body movements and stuff like that. And then tracking my food is just it couldn't be really any easier. I mean, it's set
Yeah.
up so nicely in there where all your meals can be saved and you can use it day to day. And then just also having that accountability through my advisor in there, watching what I'm doing, make sure I'm doing what I should be doing when I should be doing it. So the first Phorm app is a great tool.
I would agree 100%. There's so many different opportunities in there. One, as far as tracking goes, tracking your nutrition, tracking your workouts, there's a plethora of workouts available in there for people that may be new to the app itself. It's really not that expensive per month, and you're getting a one-on-one advisor. You're getting someone that's going to walk you through your nutrition, through your goals. There's different challenges that we do, 8-week challenges where you have opportunities to win, certain opportunities to be able to go out to headquarters. You have classes that you can attend. There's webinars. There's quotes. I mean, there's so many things that you can do in there that there's too much to even be able to touch on in the first year that you're in that app. You want to be able to get things down, dialed in with, again, your nutrition and the workout programs that you use. And then if there's a workout program that you're already on, you can go in and you can either jot down the sets and reps and weight, or you can take a screenshot if you're one of those people that enjoys writing it down on a piece of paper and keeping track that way. You can take a little photo and put it in as your workout for the day. Your one-on-one advisor will have access to all of that information, and they can review it so that you only spend maybe 15 minutes with your advisor once a week, and they'll check in, give you some pointers. Here's what you got. You got any questions? Nope, we're good to go. Okay. And you're good. You're not wasting time just kind of thinking of maybe something that you could have done different in your workout, or, oh, I can't remember what I did on Wednesday, or, something like that. You've actually got someone that will be able to sit there and talk with you about the things that you put in the app, and keep it, as a handy tool right there in your hand. So I love the first Phorm app. It's definitely awesome. What would be your top 3 reasons why you have chosen to stick with First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors? Because they are one and the same. We're just the branch of First Phorm that is reaching out to the outdoorsman, again, from the Western hunter to the Eastern hunter, Southern whitetail, Northern waterfowl. We want to get to everyone to help them understand the importance of fitness and health, no matter what type of hunting and outdoorsmanship you enjoy. So with that being said, what are your top 3 reasons why you've chosen First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors for your journey?
Yeah. So the first reason I chose First Phorm, I remember when I tried their product for the first time, probably 5 or 6 years ago. It was the Formula One ignition. But then it was root beer float. I had that, and from that point on, like as soon as I tasted it, I was like, this is unlike any other protein that I've had. The flavor is spot on. So like I would say the products and the quality and just my enjoyment from taking the products is probably my first reason I've stuck with First Phorm. And then number 2 reason is that I learned later on was the community. The community is, it's second to none. There's nothing like it. I have countless examples of, how I've been a part of the community and what it's done for me. And, it is incredible. And that's a huge reason, people fall off with, fitness, nutrition is they don't have that community. It's a lonely path sometimes, especially if no one else is around you is doing it. So that's a big thing, is just being a part of that community to help hold you accountable, push you to be better. And so that's a big one for me, is the community. And then the third reason I would say is probably just like the customer service and like how they want you to win, right? Like Jake Garvold with First Outdoors, he has pushed me and my waterfall brand further than I probably would have taken it this far along in the journey. And he's doing that just because he's like, we want you to win. Ultimately, that's what we're here for. We want you guys to get better, because if you win, we all win. And that's probably my third reason. And definitely it's really cool to see that like a company and the people in the company care about you that much, where they just want to help you with your own, individual journeys, whether it's fitness or business or relationships. so whatever the case may be, they're there for you.
Exactly. It's an interesting community because, and people will see this as well in the links here that I'm going to leave at the bottom. I'm going to put your Facebook group because I want people to go check out what you've got to offer and what your brand is, what your links are. Other people as well that are here in the First Phorm Outdoors community, I've put their links for people to go check out their groups. It's not something where we're trying to, I guess, pull other people down or keep them down, or look at them as competition in a negative way.
Yep.
It's a community that's real interesting because they want you to actually build your own brand, and for First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors to be a part of that, but not your entire you. And it's something that I've found really interesting as well, because the way that they have found to succeed and to get better and to grow First Phorm, they're sharing with us to be able to improve our groups and our brand and be able to help other people in a specific way that we can. And so that's something that's definitely really interesting. And then of course that the community aspect is unmatched. I mean, there's so many tools and resources in the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group, on the Instagram page. When you reach out to customer support, it is bar none the best customer support you will ever receive. I don't know what your experience is, but I've had times where I get answers on Sunday when I send an email in, maybe late Saturday night, thinking I'd get a response on Monday. And I'm like, dude, go spend time with your family or whatever. Go outdoor, do something else. You don't need to respond to my email right now. But they're quick to respond, and they make sure that there is a resolution to whatever the problem is that you've got. And then of course you mentioned the quality of the products as well.
Yep.
There's that, a lot of people ask why we don't do samples. And the biggest reason for that, that we've found to mitigate that is, I guess, the 110% money back guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I don't know of any other company that does that.
Nope.
I know of companies that guarantee their product, but I don't know people or a company that does 110% money back guarantee, where not only do you get your money back, but 10% on top of it. That mitigates the fear of needing a sample. You're able to go and get the full product, and the only concern you should have, if it's not even really a concern, the only worry is, did you buy enough? To get you through the rest of the month, because once you try it, you're gonna be hooked.
You're gonna be
and that's fine. And I understand, people have been burned before, and they buy a product and they're like, oh, well, they say they have a return guarantee, but then you have to jump through loops and all these hassles and all this other stuff to get through to customer support that may or may not give you your money back and provide you a return label, etc. It is not that way with First Phorm at all.
No.
So anyone out there on the fence, I recommend whatever it is, go out and try it. If you really don't like it, reach out to customer support. You can feel free to reach out to me. I have no problem with that, but I would challenge you to go reach out to customer support and then prove me wrong that they don't answer you within 24 to 48 hours. And not only that they don't answer you, but that there's a solution to your problem within that time frame.
Yep.
I challenge anyone out there to do that and prove me wrong. I would love to be proven wrong, because it's not going to happen. So
yeah. I also have if you don't like a flavor, you can send it back and swap it out for a new flavor.
Exactly. I will warn people that the flavors really are what they say they are. Mm-hmm. So if you are on the fence with something, I think Jake brought up a flavor once in one of the conversations. Someone ordered a German chocolate.
Yep.
And they were like, oh, it sounds so good in the shake. But they didn't really like coconut, which coconut's kind of a big part of German chocolate. And so of course they get it, they try it, and they're like, oh, it's got too much coconut. Well, of course they send it back. And, but I want people to know, and they swapped it out for a different flavor. But like, if you're on the fence, like if you don't like Fruit Loops, don't order Loop-de-Fruit. If you don't like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, don't order CTC. Like, get a flavor that you'll like, and test it out for sure.
Yeah, agreed. Even just the customer service side of things, I had a transformer that because I'm an advisor in the app or whatever. And it's one of my people, the eye care has been actually out for a while.
Mm.
And um, they found that that's the only eye product that they've tried over the years that takes away like the floaters I think they have in their eyes.
Hmm.
And they're bummed that they just didn't have it. So I reached out to my advisor in the app if he knew something. He's like, I don't know of it coming back yet, but I tracked some down. So he gave me the contact information for S2, and he already reached out and found that they had a bunch in stock at S2. So he's like, tell your person to call this number and they'll set them up. So like, that's just going again above and beyond to a different company and found the product that they were wanting.
Exactly. And you know, I've heard of stories like people will call in just to test the customer support and they'll ask, like, I think one of the famous ones was they called in asking for what spark plugs would be the best spark plugs for the specific type of Dodge truck,
Wow.
or what's the best pizza in St. Louis, or, you know, just random off the wall things that don't even have anything to do with First Form. Now, I'm not saying go out and do that. If you do, let me know the results. But you know, it's something that it really is unrivaled. And First Form just is quality through and through, from the products, the people, and just striving to get better. So those are definitely a great top three that I think people should definitely check out, test for themselves. And if you don't have a Facebook and you're listening to this, create a private one that you don't have to add or do anything with except for get into First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group, because there's so many tools and opportunities in that community that are unmatched and you won't get from just simply providing your email for the weekly emails or whatever it may be. You won't get that community aspect. And so who knows, your next fly fishing buddy, your next family that you can go camping with. If you've got a family of your own, you can meet people in your area that'll go camping and have kids. It's very, very family and family friendly, and people in there that really want to see you succeed at whatever it is that you want to get better at. So yeah. What else do you want to leave with the audience here, as far as whether it be First Form or even maybe talking about your group a little bit, you know, and where they can find you?
Yeah, I mean, if you do get into the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group, which I do recommend as well, you will find and build relationships with people. That is just inevitable. Some of my best friends to date are people that I have met through, First Phorm and First Phorm Outdoors, and it's just crazy to even really say that. We go on these trips and stuff. We've never met in person. It's only through social media, and then we kick it off, and it's like we knew each other forever. So yeah, definitely the most supportive, group. Doesn't matter what your niche is, there's someone there for you. But yeah, so if you want to join my Facebook group, it's called the WOW Crew, World of Waterfowl Crew. That is my private Facebook group. So kind of getting some systems in place. We're going to be ready to rock and roll, kicking out this year strong. So Instagram, Nolan Goshey, pretty straightforward, but that's pretty much all I have to say.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here, guys. Go check out his group. Nolan's group, WOW, is going to be listed down below, along with the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. We want you in, guys. Again, this whole week is going to be jam-packed full of people from our group, our community, that are everything from West Coast to East Coast and everything in between. We want you guys to get that experience from everyone, not just someone like myself that you listen to on the podcast talk about First Phorm all the time. And just want you guys to know that it is for everyone. We want everyone in the community. You can also contribute, so don't feel like the knowledge that you have is maybe small compared to the thousands of people in the group. You have a way that you're going to be able to touch someone's life by joining that group, along with you gaining some knowledge and friendships. So with that being said, thanks so much, Nolan, for hopping on here. I appreciate your time. Guys, go check out his content and go take the challenge of ordering some product and taking that 110% money back guarantee on, or the customer support, or both. So with that being said, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. And of course, get out, live your life, and love it.